Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Cancer October 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as October goes, the Sun will be in Libra from the 1st until the 23rd. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on the home, which is Cancer's love anyway. The home, family life, domestic matters, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, the latter part or end of life period, who you are at the core, and emotional security, and also foundations and traditions and roots. Now, given that this is Libra energy, this could be done with certain perhaps ambivalence, indecision. It may be about weighing a lot of the weighing pros and cons. Could be done, you could say, in very fair-minded fashion, dispersing energies evenly. You might find yourself dispersing energies evenly with a lot of 4th house matters. It could be done too, perhaps with a lot of tact, diplomacy, and especially in matters with family members, people that you're close to home with. And really, I think looking at this too, this could also be shining the light, so to speak, on a Libra family member. I mean, it could be a Libra Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Libra-like characteristics. So anyway, there could be a strong focus on this person at this time. So anyway, next thing up. As far as October goes, the Sun will be in Scorpio from the 23rd until the 31st. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on romance, love matters, fun, amusement, enjoyment, creative endeavors, even gambling and speculation, perhaps. Now, given that this is in children, this could be, given that this is Scorpio energy, this could be done with a lot of willful and intractable energy. There could even be, it could be done with a lot of emotional intensity, and also going beyond subterfuge and superficiality, really seeing, seeing deep into matters. And it could be especially in matters in love with children and things of a speculative nature, going beyond, what you see superficially. If there's something of a speculative nature, an investment, you're more apt to look very deep into it, more so than usual, and do some deep research in connection with it. So anyway, and it could be also a strong focus on Scorpio-like hobbies such as astrology, occult, supernatural, or things of enjoyment such as playing with a Ouija board, something that could be Scorpio-related. Anyway, next thing up is there will be a new moon in Libra on October 8th, so the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, you might find yourself starting something maybe Libra-like at home. It could be something connected with balance, going on a balancing beam, or doing something where you feel there is a need to find yourself when you're balancing something, or maybe just balancing a new period of balancing home-related activities. It could be something also too, when you look at this new moon in Libra, it could be starting maybe some art project at home or with someone you feel close to home with. It could be a new Libra connection or family member. It could be a Libra Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply one that embodies Libra-like characteristics. In some cases, this could be maybe the beginning of some new Libra tradition. Perhaps it could be something connected with art or painting, drawing, sculpting, something that can be Libra related. So anyway, well, as far as the next thing goes, well, there will be a full moon in Taurus on October 24th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So this could manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be the completion or culmination of a Taurus-like goal or aspiration. It could be maybe simply just accumulating a certain amount of money, something monetary related. It could be something Taurus related, such as finishing something connected with architecture or cultivation or gardening. It could be a period too where you put a really very full, I guess you could say, Taurus-like energy, powers of persistence, perseverance, and patience into a very stubborn, intractable energy, into something that could be goal or aspiration related, or something group related, or with friends or acquaintances. It could be too, in some cases, when you're talking about a full moon, it could represent an unveiling or revelation. And this could be about an unveiling or revelation of perhaps a friend or acquaintance that might be showing overly stubborn, obstinate qualities, or somebody that may be very greedy or avaricious, and something you might not have been cognizant about before, but you become aware of now. Anyway, next thing up is Mercury will be in Libra as far as October goes, from the 1st until the 9th. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you might find yourself speaking with family members with a lot of tact and diplomacy. It could be about having a lot of balanced thinking, really about being fair-minded in regarding home activities, people you're close to home with, and family members as well. Remember that, as I've stated in previous videos, that Mercury can also be about siblings. So it could be that Libra siblings might figure more prominently, maybe in your traditions at this time, maybe starting some foundations. It could be just in home-related activities in general. They could be Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Libra-like characteristics. And it also could be a lot of thinking with a lot of indecision and ambivalence, weighing a lot of pros and cons, perhaps on making decisions that you may need to as far as the latter part or the end of life period goes. And just home-related matters in general, or maybe even making a decision in connection with the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. Anyway, next thing up is, as far as October goes, Mercury will be in Scorpio from the 9th until the 31st, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you might find yourself being involved with more very deep, incisive, provocative conversations with children, with a romantic partner. It could be somebody that you enjoy some kind of hobby with or creative endeavor with. Your mind might be more probing at this time in 5th house matters. It could be in things of a speculative nature, even if there's some kind of investment. It might be a time where you might be thinking more deeply in regards to this and be more inclined to go through deep research before embarking on anything in connection with that. But anyway, as I've stated before, that Mercury can also be about siblings. So it could be that it could be a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sibling, or simply one that embodies Scorpio-like characteristics, might figure more prominently in your fun or your amusement and your enjoyment, might be more involved with activities with your children at this time, or even something sports related as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, as far as October goes, well, Venus will be in Scorpio in October. It will be retrograde from like the 6th until the 31st, and again, the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, first thing off is, if you're unattached to Cancer, you might connect with a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. It could be at like some kind of 5th house venue, such as some kind of entertainment place or theater. Could be at a gambling place. Also, and it could be a Scorpio Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply one that embodies Scorpio-like characteristics. This could be a time, too, where you might be more inclined to very deep relationships, ones that are not superficial. So if you find some romantic partner at this time, it could be one where you want something very deep at this time as well. And this could also be about the enjoyment of doing Scorpio like things as really playing some kind of games that are Scorpio like, and ones that are enjoyable as well. It could be doing something like, there's a game called Shocking, it's like a Shocking Liar game, where it's basically like a lie detector test game. And I mean, Scorpio energy, of course, could be going about really going about subterfuge, and also being able to detect a lot of times when somebody's lying, character composition, so you understand what I'm saying. So anyway, and also this could also be about valuing again, going through subterfuge and superficiality with children, with a romantic partner, and also perhaps making money through doing something Scorpio related that you may also enjoy as well, such as something with astrology, the occult, supernatural, magic. It could be doing some kind of investigation or recycling, something that could be Scorpio related. So anyway, hold on a second, people. Sorry about that. Anyway, next thing up is Mars will be in Aquarius, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you may become a little bit more angry and acerbic over idiosyncratic, bizarre, or unusual behavior from a sexual partner or someone you're in an intimate relationship with. This could also be about showing, really injecting a lot of selfless and humanitarian energy into matters with the sexual partner, or somebody that you're in a shared resources situation with. But also this may manifest perhaps in having more fights with friends over shared resources. It could be over issues of power and control as well. It could be in some cases over inheritance, in some cases it may be. And also too, this could be also about injecting a lot of selfless energy into matters of emotional and moral support at this time. And there might be more unpredictable, unusual, very spontaneous arguments in matters connected with taxes, insurance, even over an inheritance, and also putting a lot of energy into transformation, but it may be very sporadic and erratic given its Aquarius energy. Anyway, next thing up is Jupiter will be in Scorpio still, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. As I've stated in previous videos, that Jupiter can be rather paradoxical. It can be very benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. And it may very well expand in some cases surreptitious, nefarious, even manipulative behavior from children, from a lover. Could be people you might share some kind of creative endeavor or hobby with. But also on the positive side, this could be about having a lot of luck and fortune, going again beyond subterfuge, going beyond superficiality in matters with children, lovers, even things of a speculative nature by digging deep into those matters. And also too, you might be putting a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm into Scorpio-like hobbies, such as doing something with recycling, astrology, the occult, supernatural, magic. Could be something connected with rebuilding or transforming, such as rebuilding vehicles or engines or what have you. And really, too, I mean, this could be about really adopting perhaps a very profound and deep philosophy over matters connected with enjoyment, fun, amusement, and really in matters perhaps associated with children as well, and romantic partners. So anyway, and really too, next thing up, Saturn will be in Capricorn still, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So this could be, I mean, about dealing with restrictions and limitations connected with relationships, which might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy. You might find yourself taking care of a debilitated or sickly a significant other. In some cases, it could be a grandmother. It could be somebody you have an important relationship or friendship with. And it might be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, or the joints. It could be about taking a lot of responsibility to others in general. You may find at this time, if you're unattached at this time, Cancer, you might connect with an older person as far as a significant other goes. It could be a Capricorn or somebody that embodies Capricorn-like characteristics, and it could be too that you might be dealing with maybe older people that may be open adversaries, or maybe somebody with the government, somebody that might be a Saturn related. So anyway, next thing up is, well, Uranus will still be in Taurus, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, in some cases, this could manifest in Taurus friendships figuring prominently in goals and aspirations. It could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus-like characteristics. You might be seeing more unusual, stubborn, and obstinate behavior coming from friends, from acquaintances. This could also manifest perhaps in the formulation of new financial ideas that may strongly impact your future at this time. It could be that matters with friends at this time and acquaintances might be very erratic and sporadic, and it could be that you might be dealing with more financial fluctuations at this time than usual. And I mean, and it might, in doing so, maybe it impacts your connection with your friends, and you wonder, well, how could that be? Well, as an example, I mean, if you don't have, the money at some point, you might not be able to go visit your friends if they're at a good distance. Something like that is what I'm saying. So, anyway, and also too, you might be looking at some Uranus-like thing that could be connected with a goal or an aspiration at this time. It could be something like such as astrology or another esoteric subject, astronomy, aerospace, computers, electronics, or even innovation. Anyway, next thing up is Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, you could be dealing in some cases with a dissipation or dissolving, perhaps of a connection with an in-law or a grandchild. You should be wary of false prophets at this time. And also, too, I mean, given that this is Neptune energy, we're talking about the 9th house. This could manifest in doing something college-related, higher education-related. That could be Neptune-like. It could be something connected with the metaphysical, which could include astrology, dancing, poetry, photography, chemistry, doing something with special effects, something with filmography, anything that could be Neptune-like. And you might be at this time be inclined to take long journeys by boat or by sea. And you might also be more about fantasizing about 9th house matters, such as long distance journeys, such as matters connected with higher education and publishing, as opposed to actually doing it. Of course, Neptune energy can cause be connected with lethargy, I think, in many cases, but also be very wary about perhaps succumbing to false indoctrination and dealing with deceptive or duplicitous people in religious groups and congregations. Anyway, next thing up is Pluto will still be in Capricorn, of course, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, in some cases, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. It could reflect in some cases a literal death, some cases a grandmother, a significant other, somebody you might have an important connection with. It could be an open adversary. I'm not saying by you, But I mean, it could be maybe it could be a figurative ending of maybe a legal situation with a legal opponent or adversary, or maybe an open enemy, and maybe something happens where there is some kind of for like a truce maybe with that person. Now also, you might feel like you might be in more power struggles in your relationships at this time. In some cases, this could be about a figurative obliteration of a relationship. But remember that Pluto is also about rebirth and regeneration. So when something goes away with Pluto, often something will replace it at a certain point in time. I don't think Pluto is always about gloom and doom. I mean, it's about, sometimes Pluto will tear something down, but it could be supplanted with something else at a later point in time. In some cases, this could be about dealing with Pluto-like open adversaries. It could be like terrorist types or subversive type people that are very powerful, or ones that could be in the occult or supernatural. It could include astrology. So, and also be wary and guard against becoming overly obsessive or compulsive in matters connected with others in general, a significant other, someone you're in a strong relationship with. So anyway, next thing up is the North Node will be in Leo still. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, in some cases, this could be about dealing, when you're talking about the North Node in transit, this could be manifest in having to confront or address something. Now, issues one may have to confront, well, this could be about having to confront a domineering, overbearing, arrogant, perhaps overly flamboyant. It could be somebody that may be in at the place you generate income at. It could be somebody you may have valued at one time. It's somebody that might figure prominently in your resources and possessions. Now, also, this could manifest in taking a lot of pride and dignity in your values and in your possessions, yourself, and really where we're taking also being aware about being confident and self-assured, and that could also lead to better self-esteem and self-worth. You might be directed at this time to being more generous and magnanimous regarding your possessions and resources. Remember, Cancer is that sign, I believe, that has the one that it may have the greatest propensity or proclivity to hoard. I wouldn't be surprised if a number of those people that you see on that hoarder show, I don't know if it's still on or not, but many of you may know what I'm talking about. And I would be willing, I would think a number of those people may have a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant. I would not be shocked at all about that. That is the sign that is the tendency toward this. So this is the time for Cancer where you can be more magnanimous and generous, perhaps with your resources and possessions at this time, and you may be directed to doing so. Anyway, next thing up is the Black Moon Lilith will still be in Aquarius, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. When we're talking about the Black Moon Lilith, this could be about a time, Black Moon Lilith could be about what could put one in a strong state of fright or trepidation. This could be about maybe succumbing to a very orthodox or conventional sexual life, could be one example. It could be also maybe losing your freedom or your independence, relinquishing those things in a shared resources situation. Also, too, this could be as well, when you're talking about Black Moon, Lilith, and Aquarius, this could be very strong negative manifestation of this Aquarius energy. And it could be where you might wind up dealing with somebody that could be like a charlatan astrologer. This could be about maybe a sexual partner, someone you're in an intimate relationship with or a shared resources situation with, that might be showing rather unusual, bizarre, idiosyncratic behavior. And also it could be the revelation of a formidable Aquarius adversary that might be doing something 8th house related, such as something with taxes, insurance, astrology. It could be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. And again, as far as the Black Moon Lilith goes, it's also what it's about is could be something that comes out of the bag, so to speak, that we don't want to come out of the bag, but it does come out anyway for whatever reason. And this could be something, in this case, maybe something regarding sexuality that might be somewhat unconventional or unusual, or maybe seen as bizarre, or unorthodox, that comes out at this time. It could be about some issue that may be some kind of strong, could be a credit card debt that comes out in a very spontaneous, unpredictable kind of manner at this time, or maybe even someone that you're in an intimate relationship with that's a little bit unusual or unorthodox about that person might come out at this time that you didn't want maybe others to know about. So anyway, last but not least, Chiron will be in Pisces, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Hold on a second, people. Sorry about that. Anyway, well, again, as far as Chiron goes, Chiron could be about emotional wounds and sometimes physical ones as well. We're talking about Chiron in Pisces and the 9th house. This could manifest perhaps dealing with some kind of false religion, or dealing with some kind of deceptive or duplicitous people in some religious congregation. Even in some cases, it might be dealing with an in-law or grandchild that might be succumbing to some kind of drug or alcohol use, and also gullibility in matters with in-laws, with grandchildren, maybe someone at a religious congregation, someone you may know at a college or university, maybe as well. And also, too, Pisces energy, unfortunately, at times can be indolent and lethargic, and it might be being just overly passive, or just being somewhat succumbing to lethargy in matters with publishing or 9th house matters in general, succumbing to stagnation, perhaps in higher education, and really just anything that could be 9th house related at this time. And also, this could be about the dissipation or dissolving of a connection with an in-law, a grandchild. It could be maybe over maybe somebody that you knew well at a college, university, or maybe at a religious congregation. But remember that Chiron, again, is the wounded healer. So in ways that you might be going through some struggling and suffering in connection with Chiron and Pisces and 9th house energy, you may be able to help others out dealing with comparable situations, and doing so with a lot of Pisces-like empathy, compassion, self-sacrifice, and even idealism. Anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Cancer October 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be doing a video about on being an astrologer. I'm sorry, on being I've talked about being an astrologer before, so this video is going to be about on doing astrology videos. Anyway, people, 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.